welcome to the team call for what month? September. I believe it's the end of September. Lindsay's like, are you leading the team call? I'm like, oh shit, it's the last week of September. Yep. It's crazy. I get to come back to Chicago in a month from today, so I'm super excited for my cousin's wedding, for my 40th, to show Patrick Chicago. He's never been there. And so that's exciting. But anyhow, I'm going to mute all of you. Today we are going to talk all things Instagram. I'm going to share my screen with you in a little bit and kind of share some things that have been working and some things that I've been doing, some things that I've learned recently. I will talk about PB&J. Some of you have already seen what we've been doing with PB&J. You've heard the National Wake Up Call. I will share what has 100% worked for me in the last like 5 days, like just from implementing that. It's insane. Like, why did I have any fear around inviting at all? This is seriously amazing. So a couple weeks ago, when was that? 2 weeks ago or longer? I don't know. I did a training on Instagram growth and just growing your following. So now that we're all growing our followings, and whether you're using Captivate and Cleaner or you're just focusing on growing your following, or maybe you haven't done either yet, I would go back. Oh my God, look at Izzy girl. You want to hang out with us? Say hi. If you have not done it yet, then you need to start growing your Instagram following one way or the other. I share on the last Instagram video how to do it if you don't have Captivate or Cleaner. Unfortunately, if you don't have an iPhone, I should say, or an iPad, an Apple product, there is not the same system for that. However, there is something else called Stim Social that I've heard about before, and I just reheard about it again. Hi, Owen. I just reheard about it again in a video that I was watching. It is a lot more expensive. It's like $39 a month, but it's a website that allows you to grow your following. It's called Stim. I believe it's STIM or YM Social. And I know some coaches like Bonnie Engel and some of her coaches are using that because I just heard them talk about it. So if you don't have an iPhone and you do want to start growing your following, look into that one. And then if you don't want to pay for anything, you can do this naturally just through Instagram. You just have to spend a little bit more time actually going in and following yourself and then going in and unfollowing. Obviously, it's a lot easier if you are using some sort of product to help you do that. But now that we're growing our following and we have all these new people following us and they're watching our stories and they're liking our posts and we're following them, right? What do we do? So there's quite a few different things that I've been doing to help me engage, connect, invite these people. And the first one, and the one that I think's been working, I don't know about the best, but quickly. And Lindsay gave me this tip because she and I were talking a couple weeks ago that we're just like, oh, sometimes it just gets old connecting and inviting, and it's hard. And like, how do you, just because we're farther along in this business does not mean that we don't struggle with this at times too. So just understand that, and thankfully we can talk with each other and give each other ideas and all of that. So I'm going to share my screen. And the biggest tip that Lindsay gave was go to your stories. Hang on. It is connected. I have a new phone. There we go. Come on. Let me try again. Follow Adder. Yes, that's another one that someone, I was listening to a National Wake Up Call. I tried that one. I didn't like it as much. So why is this? It's saying it should be working. I just love technology, you guys. I did say trust. All right, let me try it a different way. Anywho, while I'm talking, basically in your story, you're going to go to the last story, or like the farthest away story. I don't know how to say it best. Like the story from 24 hours ago or 18 or however, the longest story away. You're going to go to that story and you're going to, here we go. I think this will work. You are going, yay. Okay. You're going to go to all of the people that watched that story. So the one that's the farthest away. And you scroll through and you look for new followers. Clearly, there's a lot of like my customers and friends and such that are on here, but I'm looking for like new followers. Like for example, well, one, and there's two things that I'm doing here when I'm connecting. It depends on if I've connected with them before, sometimes, and sometimes it depends on the person and if I feel like they are getting a coach invite that day. I'm honestly, you guys, sending these coach invites, the PB&J one, the one that I sent the script, posted the script that I'm using that I got from that Meg Wazinski. Is that her? I don't really know which one is her married name. But anyway, that I got from her that I wrote out for everybody. So that script is in the file section if you don't know what I'm talking about, but I'll talk about it a little bit more. And I'm sending that to people who I think deserve it. And it is quite a few people. And quite a few of them have responded very positively. And I shared a couple of those responses, but it literally let go of my fear of like sending that coach invite, you guys. Like, it's amazing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you in a second. But for example, like Twins Plus One, she and I have talked before. So I go to their profile. I look to see if they have any new posts. If they do, I like on their posts. This is like somebody if you've connected with them before. You like on some of their new posts. Maybe you comment on their posts and you send them a message. So I sent her a message today. She didn't have any new posts, but I just sent, hey, how have you been? We had connected before. She had connected with me on something that she really liked. So I was just sending her just like a connection. I have not invited her yet. But for example, somebody else today, and this Lauren, like we connected, she goes to my church. So I did a little connection with her today and I liked some of her newer posts. There was somebody, I already did this today. So like this girl, I didn't send the coach invite yet, but I did go and like a lot of her posts. I think she is possibly from my church. That's how I've been connecting with a lot of people through Captivate, is through my church posts. So I've been connecting with a lot of locals or people who used to go to my church. So that's been awesome because it's been pretty cool to just connect with people locally. But clearly, like, look at this girl's photos. She will 100% be getting a coach invite from me. Like, her photos are beautiful. She's great. She's got a great following already. It doesn't look like she is in any sort of business. However, with a following that high, she might be, but it doesn't matter. Actually, I'll just send it to her now. So I also, something I did that I learned from Jolene, and I will teach you guys tonight, is put in a text replacement on my phone. I'll show you how to do it. But all I did was just type in COA, and my entire message script is in here. Now what I do is I say, thanks for watching my stories. I connect with them somehow. I went to the same place she did this weekend. And then, if this is the PB&J invite, if you guys haven't seen this, but I said, I'll just add, also, I hope I'm not being too forward, but I couldn't help but see that you are also a very positive and upbeat woman from what I see in your posts. I'm actually looking for women just like me who are a positive influence for other women to join forces with me on my virtual wellness coaching journey. Have you ever considered something like this? If not, no worries. I just thought I'd mention it because you never know. Trying to fix that eye. Because you never know who could benefit from this opportunity like I have. Either way, I hope we can continue to follow and support each other. Boom, she's getting that. Yeah, it's long. You guys, the responses I've been getting have been unbelievable. And so this is somebody, she clearly watched my story, so she knows at least kind of who I am. I don't know if she's watched all of them, but she saw that one from last night of my dinner. And so I go through each of these people, and there's a few new ones. Like Vianney is one. She's in my sneak peek that I'm doing right now. That I don't think I even sent her that. I just said, I know we briefly talked about coaching before, so I wanted to put this out there. Totally cool if it's not of interest to you. I'm running a sneak peek into what I'm doing on Facebook next Monday. It's just 3 live videos explaining what I do, blah, blah, blah. Sure, why not hear what it's all about and see if it interests me? Like, I don't know why I was putting so much fear in this. But there's a few others. There's like 5 people and a few others that are going to jump in. This girl, I sent her the coach invite today. So, like I said, most of the time they're getting a coach invite. Like, I do have a challenger invite as well that is similar to that, but it says basically, have you ever considered like having a coach like this? Like something along those lines. I'll show it to you guys. If you haven't looked at it in the file section. Let me see if I see comments coming in. Let me see. Like,
I want to say something.
The oldest post. Oh, sorry. My story just popped up. Holy shit, that's awesome. I'm not able to send that much text through IG. It's too many characters.
Can I say something real quick?
I
don't have the issue where it's too many characters. The one that I shared in the document is, but one thing I want to stress to everybody is you have got to make this in your own words. You have to, because it's not going to work when they look at the way that you write your posts and they look at the way that you're writing other stuff. If you copy and paste this verbatim, then it's not going to, you know what I mean? It's not going to work. So I would just encourage you to minimize it to the amount that works for you, that does fit, that's in your words, you know? And I'm only saying that because I've heard it like 5 times today and a few times yesterday. And I just wanted to say that. I know, Amanda, you probably would have said the same thing, but I just cannot tell you enough how you just have to make it in your own words so you can minimize it to it fitting or whatever. But anyway, okay, I'm going to go bye-bye now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you get the gist of like I changed what Megan had put, and I added my own little twist to it. And it gets changed depending on the person I'm talking to sometimes too. It all depends on if I've talked to her before or if I haven't. Depends on, the connection is different. And also, as far as the words, I wonder, because I'm doing the text replacement, I don't know. All of that fits in one message. I don't know what I'm sure there's a certain number of characters. You guys, this Face ID thing is so weird. Okay, so that's one way, and it's been working phenomenally. Okay. Another thing that I'm making sure that I'm doing very often is not watching all of these coaches' stories. Sorry, I love you all. But finding other people's stories that are not coaches, like my other following. So like this SK Mac, I watched a ton of her stories and commented, just sent a bunch of comments to her. Random stuff. She's on vacation, I think. So I've been sending her like, oh my gosh, that looks so good, blah, blah, blah. I don't know her. Just connecting with her, telling her that I love the food she's posting and whatever. And I'll connect with her more. But it starts that, so then they're going to see you. They'll start watching your stories. They'll start seeing your posts more if you're making those connections. So make sure that you scroll through your stories and skip over all the coaches that you follow. And, comment on people, send them messages. It's funny because I don't get as many messages from people. Like, people just watch stories, and I do too sometimes, and don't connect about them. And the whole point is to connect with people. And so connect with people on their stories. Tell them that you love whatever they just shared. Okay? That's why we do it, right? Like, the reason we share stories is because we want other people to see what we're doing. Let's not lie about it. And we want them to connect with us. We want them to be like, that's so cool, right? Like, that might not be the only reason, but it is. Like, you share stories because you want people to tell you that they like your food, or that they love the Aspens that you went to see, or whatever, okay? So follow people's stories and send them little loves. Sometimes I literally just send a heart. Like, I'm not kidding. Just sometimes it's a heart. It's just a connection. It's just getting them to see my name, who I am. They're going to then go to my profile and be like, who is this girl? They may then connect. You never know. All right. Another thing I briefly talked about, and I'll talk about again, collections. Excuse me. Collections in Instagram are basically folders of people's profiles. Okay? Izzy girl, go lay down. So, for example, Dandelion Wishes, I'm going to go see who this is. I think she's a teacher, which to me, I would love to connect with. So right now, I'm just going to add her to a collection. I'm not going to connect with her right now. I want to just add her to a collection that I'm like, oh, she'd be a good potential coach. Although, to be honest, I am mainly like sending invites as I go now. But if you're like waiting in a grocery store line, or you're waiting in the car line to pick up your kids and you don't quite want to send a message right now, but you're scrolling, right? You come across somebody that you want to maybe message later, or you want to keep tabs on, kind of like you want to continue to connect with them. You want to watch them for a little while before you send an invite. Then you want to put them in a collection. So you need to go to one of their posts, and you go to, see in the bottom right-hand corner, there's like that bookmark. You click on that bookmark, and right away it's going to say Save to Collection, and you click on Save to Collection. Now, I've already created these collections in here. So I've created a future customers, future coaches, influencers, current coaches, current customers. So I'm going to add her to a future coaches collection because she's a teacher. Teachers make the best coaches because we're already teachers by heart, by heart. And I think we just have that like nature of wanting to help people. So if you're ever like wondering if a teacher would be good, teachers, like, literally, there are a lot of top coaches and just coaches in the network that were former teachers. A lot. Because the job is really rewarding. It's supposed to be. It should be. Okay. So to get to your collections then is you go to your profile, and they just changed this if you updated your profile, and you go to the 3 lines in the top right, like next to your profile name, and you go to saved, and then you have your collections. This is where you create your different collection folders as well. So again, that was from your profile. the top right, there's like the 3 little lines, and then you go to saved. It used to be somewhere else. So if you have, and I think it's somewhere else also on an Android, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it is in a different place. So collections, and then when you click the plus sign, you can name your collection. That's weird. Where did those lines come from? That's weird. And then you can create your different collections. Then what you do is you go to these future customers or future whichever. I must have accidentally written on my screen. That's weird. And I'm going to go to Danielle. And all this is her lab, is the post that I saved of hers. It's not like updating it to her newest post. So you have to go to her profile to see if she has any new posts that you can comment on. And have you heard of the 5-3-1 method? You like 5 posts, you comment on 3, and then you message about 1 of the 3 posts you commented on. That's how Meg Wazinski explained it. You can message them about whatever you want, but it was kind of like, ooh, you comment on a photo. The example she used was she loved some girl's daughter's bikini, like little baby's bathing suit. She was like, oh, I love that. You know, she commented on the post, oh my God, I love your little girl's bathing suit. And then she messaged her, where did you get that bathing suit? I love it so much. I've got to get it for Ivy. I don't know what her daughter's name is. I just made that up. I don't even know where Ivy came from. So for Danielle, I'm going to go to her. Oh my gosh, what is doing that? Is somebody writing on my thing? That is so weird. Do you guys see that?
Yeah, sometimes that happens. I think somebody might be doing it accidentally and don't realize it.
That's so weird. Someone's like annotating on there. Okay, and they don't know it. All right, that's weird. But anyway, so I can go, and she does have some new posts. So I can like on, 5 seems like a lot to me, to be honest. Because when I see that someone in my, like, if I see, for example, let's see, usually it's more than 5 where you see just like some random freaking person, like clearly this Rapids youth soccer, I don't even know. But when I see like someone liked like a ton of things, I'm like, what are you trying to sell me? Why are you liking all my stuff? You just want me to follow you. You just want me to show, like, go on your post. I guess 5 isn't too many, but I might do like 3-2-1. I don't know. It seems that people are saying do 5-3-1. Pick the numbers that feel right to you. I think the point is to like some posts, to comment on some posts, and to message the person. So like, it doesn't matter. I don't think the number technically matters. There may be some algorithm around it. I'm not sure, but really, I think like 3-2-1 would even work. But really, it's about like getting them to see. It is about getting them to see you in their whatever this is called, their comments, their notifications, I guess it is. But it might not be all at once either. I think that's a little overkill. So if you can somehow track, create yourself a little tracking system for these collections. So like I could go to my collection or I was at Danielle's page and I could keep track that I liked 2 photos. I commented on 1. Then maybe the next day I go and I comment on, or I like 2 more and I comment on another. Maybe the next day I go like another, comment, and send a message. So like figure out the best system for you with that. But the whole point is to be connecting. Lindsay says, I do about 3-2-1, and then more you do this to your people you want to notice, you can get more people to your page and your story's leading. Yeah. And your story's leading to a PVJ. Right. So like, because they're going to see you keep, what's the word I'm looking for? They're going to see you in their notifications popping up, I guess is the word I was looking for, popping up in their notifications. So they're going to go to your profile, watch your story, hopefully, or like a post, and then you can then send them the PB&J or a connection of some sort. But PB&J is working. Okay, what else? Another way of connecting I've been doing is just by going to likes on my posts. So same thing as Yum. I want to know who is seriously.
What the heck is going on?
Who is that? I don't know. It's so weird. I don't know. Okay. So same thing, you go to the likes on your posts, and same thing we just did in stories. Sometimes I change it so if they hadn't watched my story. Does Patrick have like access to this somehow?
He must. He must
He's
be
not here. I'm so confused. How would he have access to that?
That's creepy.
That's so creepy.
It's me!
It's Sheila. Oh. She's hiding over there. Jerk. We're like, Patrick must be. I guess I thought it could be you too.
It wasn't, I don't know how it's me, but like when I go to that, it shows like a little thing that I can annotate on screen.
Look at her, she's crying.
Well, delete it all if you can, because it's annoying for people.
All right, okay.
So same thing, like I said, for my likes. Another thing I'm doing on my likes and in my notifications is if I see that they have a story, I go to it. So like this Jennifer B, she's actually a coach. I went to her story earlier today. And that's my friend Karen. But like, if I see that they have a story, what is she wearing? I'll go to their story and comment. So that's another thing I've been doing. But so like this, I don't know this person, and I'm not going to go do it now, but I am going to add her to my collection because I will do some more investigating to see if she's a coach. You can usually tell. Because that's one big question I get all the time is like, how do you know if they're already a coach? You can usually tell. So same thing. So likes and comments, just like we do on Facebook, right? So go to your likes and comments on each of your posts and go connect or send a PB&J message. Does anyone not know what I'm talking about with PB&J? Do we need to like look at that? You have not seen our posts yet. I think I have all of mine in my notes, so I'll just show it from here. Okay, so that's the coach one, which you guys already just saw. And then this is the challenger one that I put. Basically, I consider, I'm actually looking for women just like me. No, that's not the right one. Sorry. This is one for someone that like I've been talking to for a while, and I'm like, I don't know why I didn't invite you before, and I hope I am not being too forward, but I'm always, it's like the same thing, but it's just like, and Lindsay has talked about this before, like, I don't know why I didn't do this before. Like, totally play dumb. Like, send them the invite. It works. I don't know where my challenger. Oh, this one is my challenger one. No, that is not it. It must be in my thing. All right. Questions about anything that I've just talked about before I show you text replacement. And then we'll open it up to see if anyone else has other things they've been doing that's been working and XYZ. Okay, so text replacement. Jolene showed me this. Or no, she told me about it, and then I went and figured it out. So, again, I don't know where this is in Android. I only know iPhone. So, in your iPhone, it's in your settings under General, and then under Keyboard, and then under Text Replacement. You might already know this. Like, I had one for, like, OMW was, like, on my way. Like, you can create all these text shortcuts for anything that, like, you send on a, like, all the time basis. Like you're welcome, you could just type YW and you're welcome will come up in the text replacement, or like, you know, where it like suggests words for you. Basically it's suggesting when you type in certain things, then it shows up. So I have a few here. I have my challenger one is CHA. One thing that I did have to switch is I had op might need to switch because I sometimes write coach op and then I accidentally, if you just like hit spacebar, like that's the one that selects, and so then it has this whole long thing in there. So I don't want that. So you have to choose basically words that aren't words, or letters, just letters, a series of letters that you normally would not just type, okay, as a full word. So like CHA is my challenger one. And basically you type out the entire phrase and then you type the shortcut. So like you can copy and paste it in there if you had, like I typed it out in my notes section to see how I wanted it to be worded first, and then I put it over here. And I'll have to find, if you go into the file section, it shows you the full thing, but same thing for coach. And then the DON is I don't know why I didn't invite you before. And then the op is seriously, oh no, that's not what it's supposed to say. I forgot I need to just switch that one. Basically it is just telling them after they're like, yeah, I totally want to learn that. It just says, I'm going to be sharing all about the opportunity in a Facebook group next Monday, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what it all says right now. I'm going to be sharing all the information. Can I send you that group info? And then what I send them is the actual invite, or is the actual link to the group. So I will. So this is one where I sent her the PB&J. She said, I've been thinking about a reply to your message, blah, blah, blah. And then, because she really connected with like my singles story and being almost 40 and blah, blah, blah. And I just connected back with her and I said, I'll go live 3 times, may throw some other fun in there. All you need to do is join the group by clicking the link below, watch those 3 videos and ask questions. And I post the actual link to the group and they have to go add themselves to the group, which about, let's see, 50% of them did. A few I had to send some follow-ups. They still have not added themselves, but they might this week, they might next week. I have started, as if you guys didn't watch Bonnie's video, is I'm doing my own sneak peek every week. You are welcome to invite to it. We are also, Lindsay, Jolene, and I are doing one this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The same format that I'm using Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But we're each taking one of the days. So, but really what Bonnie stressed was you need to be doing this yourself. You guys only have 5, there's now 5 people in the group. They're all brand new people from Instagram. They don't know me for jack shit. And they are in there to learn about the opportunity. I don't know who's going to say yes or who's going to say no, but I'm able to share my story. I'm able to share the opportunity with them from my point of view. They're connecting with you. So if it's fine if you put them in my group or Lindsay's group or whatever, but it's really about them connecting with you and you keeping that connection with them. So these girls that are in my group, I'm still connecting with on Instagram daily by either just sending them a connection, by commenting on their posts, on their stories, just continuing that relationship as they are in the group, watching the live videos and interacting in that group, okay? So you've got to keep that relationship. It's that rapport. If you didn't watch that Bonnie Engel video about rapport, I highly, highly, highly suggest it. It is awesome. One other text replacement that I've been doing is, and I haven't been, this one was before I started doing the PB&J, but it was just, hey, thanks for watching my stories. I love connecting with other women. What do you do? And my shortcut is STOR. And it's just basic. So all I have to do, So if you guys saw that when I just typed in COA, all I'm literally doing is literally typing, this is my friend Melanie, is STOR, and look in the bottom right there, see the middle. I just click on that. Hey, thanks for watching my story. She's already a coach. I'm not sending this to her, but it's my friend Melanie. It is the same as pretty much copying and pasting, but you don't have to go find the script that you wanted to use, copy it, and then paste it. It's already in there, and you just have to start typing out those 3 letters, 4 letters, whatever you want it to be. It could be 2 letters. You're likely not going to have 1 letter, but okay. Question, just be careful what you name it. Yeah, exactly. That's why you don't want it to be like a full word. Like even app, I need to take off because I do sometimes type app, like coach app. So if I'm talking to another coach or I'm talking to someone, because it comes up as your like default text, I guess, for that shortcut. And so when you hit the space bar to go to your next word, it automatically puts all that type in there, if that makes sense. So you want it to be something that you would not be normally typing. Like I would not be normally just typing STOR. Like that's not a word. Or COA. That's not a word, right? So you want it to be something that's not going to be accidentally just like typed with a space bar and then this whole long thing comes up. Okay? So hopefully that makes sense. But it has been a time saver. Time saver. Kate had a question. Is it up here? Kristen, did I miss it? Okay. Any questions? Go ahead. I'm going to stop sharing for right now. And look for questions. I totally agree with that. Yeah, quality comment. Totally agree. 3, 2, 1. Sorry, she had it a while back. I think the question was about the type, how much text we could type. Is that right, Kate? Oh, question about Facebook. Do you link them and do you treat your Facebook stories? I don't use Facebook stories, but I would. Because I have my Instagram is a business account, which is linked to a Facebook page that isn't an active Facebook page, to be honest. I think my stories might show up on, I don't even know. You guys would have to tell me. I don't use Facebook stories at all. So I don't know. And I have not been using the same like PB&J thing in Facebook yet. However, has anybody been getting like 50 freaking friend requests a day, or is it just me? I think some newer or like paparazzi, it works, some other network marketing companies have gotten a hold of Facebook. I don't know. And they've been sending Facebook requests like crazy. It seriously feels like if I say yes just to one, like they're putting it in a group and being like, she said yes, go friend request her. Like I swear that's what it feels like. Because I've been getting so many, and they're real people, and we have multiple mutual friends. So it's kind of weird. But whatever, I'm just thinking of it as, hey, they're connecting with me, sure. And I've been getting a lot of, not as many messages, but I have been getting some messages and some pokes or waves. Like, come on, people. But people that try to sell me something, I always am like, oh, thanks so much. And I try to like tell them, you really should connect with people. I had one girl, I said that to her because she tried to sell me something. I don't remember what it was at this point. And she was like, you're the second or third person that's told me that today. I think I'll try that. Like, yeah, you think? So, which is interesting on Facebook, but I don't know, because there was zero connecting in there. Like she didn't know who I was, I think the PB&J with Instagram is different, and I think Instagram is different in general. Question, what's better, having it as a business account? think once you get to the 10,000 followers, I think you have to have the business account to get the swipe up and all the extra things. But you can switch to a business account, I think, anytime. I don't think it really matters at this point. And right now, I'm pretty sure as a personal account, your Facebook or your Instagram is connecting to your Facebook stories, so it's showing in both places. Is that correct? For those of you that have personal accounts. Go ahead, Linz.
Okay, I didn't want to just interject. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I actually reached out and asked Kelsey this because I don't use Facebook stories, but I have a huge following on Facebook, and that's where I built my whole business. So I felt like not using Facebook stories wasn't working smart. And so I asked Kelsey, like, I have the business account, and she basically said that if it's in a situation like this, that you should stay a regular account to try to connect with as many people and keep life simpler until you get to 10,000 and then switch to business. She also said that she does think when you're a business account, you slightly have to work a little harder to get more eyes and more traction. Like your stuff isn't put into the feed as much as a personal account, but it's not a huge impact, but there is a slight difference. And because I had that same question and that was the answer I got. So I switched from business account, but for some reason my Instagram is messed up and it's still connected to my like page, which would be business, even though I'm personal. And it's like Instagram basically doesn't have a customer service. So you can't I can't get it fixed. But that's what I switched to personal to get more traction and to try to get my stories to duplicate.
Okay. Good to know. Do people watch Facebook stories? I guess that would be my question. Yeah, I don't know. I don't, but maybe some people do. Go ahead, Kate. You can unmute yourself.
I was just going to tell you that I was having a really hard time linking my Facebook and Instagram stories, Lindsay, and I went through the Facebook site to do it. And that's how I was able to link them. I don't know why. I Googled it, actually, and it said you have to go through the Facebook side to connect it. So I don't know if that'll.
So check that out. Spear, are you reaching out to people with businesses? I don't know if I personally have yet. And to be honest, I don't know who has a business. Because sometimes like this one girl who, if she becomes a coach, she already posts stories like a coach. Like, I can't believe she's not a coach and that she doesn't know what I'm talking about. Like, it's crazy to me. So I don't think she has business, but I didn't know she did when I reached out to her. I thought for sure she did. And she doesn't. Like, she just is very good on stories. Like, you kind of know who can be there. Do you mean like businesses, like other network marketing businesses? Or what?
I mean more like other entrepreneurs, people who have like blogs, things like that.
Yeah. I think it would depend on like how much following they have. Like, if I really genuinely thought that it would be something for them. I mean, I always am genuinely thinking like, hey, this would work. Like, I think this person would be an awesome coach. Like, I think the opportunity could really help them, whatever. I think people with blogs and with a large following are great people to be coaches because they already have a following. They already have content. They already have value that they're sharing. So I think that they're great people to invite to the opportunity. I mean, the invite, they can say yes or no. And you do nothing with people that like your stuff. No, I do. I send connections and invites to the likes on my posts and comments on my posts, just like you do on Facebook. So kind of the same thing that I do in stories. Again, like, you guys kind of just have to get over that fear and use that PB&J and send it. And if you don't like that big, long message, watch Bonnie's video. She does have a different way of going about it. It would take a little bit longer because she's doing the whole rapport connect. She's not going straight for the invite usually, it sounds like, from that video. But she then is like connecting, building that rapport, but popping in little things about what she does. And then eventually is adding that invite. So but this PB&J, like, you guys, I've sent over the last, like, I didn't really send any invites this weekend because I'm going to be honest, I usually don't. Yesterday I did because I had a weird day. But I think like 25 invites over the last like 3 days, possibly more. I don't think I have them all written down. And about half of them have at least responded. And about half of those have joined the group. So you have to have something to invite to. So if we're only doing as a team 1 coach event a month, you need to be doing something else. You need to be putting, you can do it. Whether you are a brand new coach, most of the people on here are seasoned, at least in the business for 6 months or more, you can run a sneak peek. It is telling your story. So today is day 1, and I told my story. And within my story, I had a ton of objections. I said that it does take hard work, that in the first year of my business, I was only running free groups because I was afraid to be a salesperson. And then once I saw some results, then I was like, oh, I'm not selling anything. I'm just sharing my results. And people are like, what are you doing? But then a year into my business, when I lost my best friend and I broke up with my boyfriend and life was too freaking short and I saw other people doing this, then I was like, I'm all in and I'm putting all the hard work in, which means working on my lunch breaks, working in between any time that I could to work this business, to make this happen because I hate my job. Then that's my story, right? Like, you're just sharing your story. But within that, dropping tons of objections. I don't have time. Another one was like, I didn't have a ton of weight to lose when I joined Beachbody. I had already lost my weight. So I shared that and how that changed and how I did have a transformation, but it wasn't as big as some other people's, because that's an objection people have. So you're dropping all those objections within your story. And then the day 2 is tomorrow. I will be talking about, sorry, I'm throwing more things, is basically like the first 30 days as a coach. Like, what do you actually do? What do we actually do as a coach? You're dropping a little bit about money, but not cost. You're talking about like how the first bill what the first bill was that you could pay off. Then you got addicted to that. And then, oh, now I could pay 2 bills off. Oh, now I can pay 3 bills off. And you're talking about that like, ooh, now I can do this. Now I can do this. Oh, at first it was just paying off my Shakeology, but now I can pay this, this, this. So you're not saying, oh, you make this much money and I make this much money and I made this much money in my first month. You are just connecting it that way. And then video 3 is actually talking about the cost. And the only thing that Bonnie suggests is the $160 Beachbody On Demand challenge pack. And she just talks about that one. And that was something that people had questions about. And again, that's all going to come down to, you're going to just talk about that one. But when you're having the personal conversation, once they say, yeah, I want to do what you do, you can then throw in other things. No fear, there's just a lot of messages. It is, you're right. And that is something that I had a mental block on, is having like an inbox full of messages coming back. Not necessarily the block was I was going to send out all these messages and then I was going to have to respond to all of them when they responded back to me. And it was just like, you know what? I have this time. This is the time that I dedicate to sending the messages. This is the time that I dedicate to answering the messages. And that you have to separate that. I know I did, so that I could remove that block and remove that, that limiting belief that it's just like, or the other limiting belief was that I'm going to send all these and no one's going to respond to me. Right? Like, and then you're like, oh no, whatever. So it's like removing those blocks and those limiting beliefs that are holding you back. With these 3-day messages, is it video based or all those? So I have a Facebook group that I'm adding these people to, and it is 3 live videos. Because personal messages, like Bonnie explained too, is like you just cannot connect if they're not like hearing your voice or seeing your face. So you can either do voice messages if you're not like having a group and you want to, you can get people on a voice message. Yeah, fuck, I just need to do one. Yeah, Sheila, you do. You can do it. Text replacement. My inbox has 100-ish messages all the time. It's hard, but you just do your best. Yeah. Because some of the messages are literally just like a heart. Like I said, I send a heart sometimes to somebody's story. That might just be one of your messages. Like, you've got to dedicate the time and answer them. Set the time, get the most important when you can, empty every other day. Yeah. What else? Any other questions? Lindsay, do you have anything else to add or say? Is there anyone else connecting in another way on Instagram right now that's working, or anything else or on Facebook, I guess? What's working?
The only thing that I wanted to say was that what's working for me is to do it first thing. Like, nothing else gets done in my business, and nothing else gets done until I get 10 invites, 10 PB&Js out. And it will sometimes go through my whole story. Now, somebody the other day said, well, I don't get new people watching my stories. Then you need to 5-3-1 and find your people more, like what Amanda said, because then more people will watch your stories. And the more you're following on Captivate, you know, with that, the more people are going to watch your stories too. But I think like this does take the fear out of it, but for some of us, it can still be fearful, and you can let it set in if you try to do it when you're tired. Like at the end of the night when the kids aren't sleeping, if I haven't got it done yet, I'm like, this seems really heavy again. But it's not. It's actually really fun to do. But if I found that what works best for me is like I read my personal development and everything, and then even if I only have 5 minutes, like that's the first thing I do, and that's just working really well for me. So just to share with people, because I know sometimes we put that off till the last thing.
Yep. And
I wanted to say that I was a big advocate for a long time of, you know, I'm not gonna cold invite, but I didn't really know how to describe, like, you're not waiting for them to give you I wish I could do, like, so often we're waiting for them to give us like a smack in the face, you should invite me to this because I said this, or this. But often it's just the fact that, you know what, I had a really great conversation with you just now. And that's a reason to invite them. And you can say that. Like, you know, I really enjoyed talking to you. You're, whether it was about the bathing suit with the kids or whatever, you know, if it never got to that invite, it's okay. And I finally feel that.
Yeah. Like,
it's okay to say, you know what, I just really enjoyed our conversation, and I'm part of an amazing community that I think you would fit right into. Have you ever heard anything about coaching? Have you ever thought of, you know, doing anything online or at home like this? And kind of, you know, I found that we often wait so long to feel okay to send it. And just a good conversation's reason enough, because you'd invite your neighbor over to a barbecue just after a good conversation, even if they didn't say they were hungry, they liked ribs and beer, right? Like, you don't need all that. So anyway, okay, that's my 2 cents. I love this call. Good job.
That's so true. And we assume that people know what Beachbody is and think it's something scammy and MLM, and that they hate MLMs. At least that's what I have always assumed about everybody, because I think of the one person or the friend or the whoever who does have that negative opinion. Whereas in reality, you guys, the majority of people have no idea even what Beachbody is. And if they do, all they've ever heard of is P90X and Insanity. It's ridiculous. They have no idea. Oh, and in that first video, because I went and watched one of Bonnie's what her story videos is she tells the story of Beachbody. How Beachbody was not created as an MLM in the beginning, that they created it just because they wanted to help people at home get results. But what they found was that people were just putting the DVD on their shelf and they weren't getting results. So they created these message boards, and then the message boards evolved into coaching and what we know today. And that really brings the guard down for people, because they're like, oh, really? I had no idea that is how Beachbody coaching came about. And you talk about how 90% of people were finally getting results by being a part of a message board or a challenge group because they were getting the support and the accountability, and that's what we do as coaches. So you share that first before you even share your story to get their guard down. Because to be honest, I don't bring up Beachbody, and if these people are following my stories, they may know that I'm Beachbody until that very first video. I was like, so some of you may not know, but I'm a Beachbody coach. Some of you might know that, some of you might not. But let me tell you a little bit about the company before I share even about myself, because I want you to understand where we've come from, because you might have these misconceived notion. What is the word I'm looking for? Anyway, these misconceived feelings, thoughts, whatever. Is it notions? Is that the word I'm looking for? That doesn't sound right. But about Beachbody that you have no idea. You might just think it's some scammy MLM. On her YouTube, she didn't have the other ones. The other two aren't there because it talks about money and whatever, as far as I could tell. But Bonnie's story, she has a couple that it's like, what do I do? And what the heck is this opportunity? That's the one that I watched, and it's on her YouTube channel. So that just gave me, I just wanted to see like how she started it. But like, just letting people know, like, you might have this skepticism, these thoughts that I had too, because I didn't know what it was. Most people don't, but here's where we came from. And here's where I came from, and here's where I am today. And here's where I'm going, right? Like, that's what you're doing when you're sharing your story. So, polls also. Kate said the polls are making a difference. Yeah, using polls, using the questions, using the like slide feature, because then if people answer your polls or respond to questions, so I don't get as many people to respond to my questions. I wish I did, but polls are definitely just easy to say yes, no, but make them like both yes, you guys. For the most part, you know what I mean? Like, you somehow make them both yes. You're not giving them the option to say no. If they want to say no, they just don't answer, like, right? So give them like, oh my gosh, yes, please send me that recipe, and I've been wanting to try that. Or like something, two things that are easy for them to choose. So then you just have a ton of people to send. Yeah, you just got it. Me too. I may have a couple new people a day watching stories right now, but it's just, I'm going to keep following, keep gaining my following, keep liking, commenting, messaging, go off the likes on your posts, not just your stories. I definitely have different people liking my posts than they are watching my stories, because there's definitely different like algorithm. Obviously there's a lot more like businessy things that are liking posts because of maybe hashtags or whatever, but there's also real people too, like new followers. Not everybody watches stories. Like I said, I don't watch stories on Facebook. There might be people on Instagram. Like, I literally had a good friend of mine be like, what is an Instagram story? What are you doing? When she came to visit, she had no idea what I was talking about. And so, I mean, maybe it's just because we're 40. I don't know. But, and I don't act like I'm 40. I act like I'm like 25. But still, like, and because clearly we have a business around this. But some people don't watch stories. Some people just still scroll Instagram like they always did. So you have to remember that, and you still have to pay attention to your posts and your likes and your comments. So I hope this was helpful. It has been an hour already. It's crazy. I need to go eat dinner. But I do want to take a picture. So I'm going to take two. So I'm going to take one on my phone, and I'm going to take a screenshot too. Or are you taking a screenshot, Lindsay? Okay, I will. All right, ready? Smile. All right, hang on. I'll take a screenshot too. There's a couple people I don't see your faces, but whatever. Smile. All right. Awesome. Aw, thanks, Bree. You're so sweet. Thank you, guys. I hope this was helpful. Share this with your teams. Share this with everybody that was not here. I will post the recording as soon as it gets uploaded. And I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.